Zara has come a long way since its humble beginnings in 1975, with a budget of only €30, to become one of the world's most popular fashion brands. Zara is a subsidiary of Inditex, one of the world's largest distribution companies. It now sells shoes, accessories, and other fashion items, as well as clothes for men, women, and children, through about 7,000 stores around the world. Let's go back in history and look at the Zara fashion brand and logo success story. But first, let's find out what Zara is. Zara is a Spanish brand and accessories brand that serves as the Inditex Group's flagship. Few clothing businesses keep up with the latest fashion, are of great quality, and are inexpensive. Zara, the Spanish apparel brand, is likely to have become the go-to fashion brand for everyone because of the combination of all of these attributes. It is no wonder that Zara, which began as a modest store in Spain, has grown to become the world's largest retailer and that its creator, Amancio Ortega, is the world's fourth richest man. Now let's go down the memory lane. Amancio Ortega and Rosalia Mera started Zara as a family business in downtown Galicia in 1975. Galicia is the northernmost part of Spain. Its original store sold low-cost imitations of popular, higher-end apparel and fashion. Amancio Ortega chose the name Zara because his favorite name, Zorba, was already taken. Zara's approach to fashion and business model gained popularity with the Spanish customer over the next 8 years. This resulted in the creation of 9 new outlets in Spain's major cities. Inditex was founded as a holding company in 1985, laying the groundwork for a distribution system that could respond in real time to changes in market trends. Ortega came up with a new way to design, make, and sell clothes that was called instant fashion, because it cut lead times and made it easier to respond to new trends. This was made possible by big investments in information technology and the use of groups of designers, instead of individual ones for the most important design part. Zara rapidly expanded into global markets throughout the next decade, including Portugal, New York, USA, Paris, France, Mexico, Greece, Belgium, Sweden, Malta, Cyprus, Norway, and Israel. Zara stores can now be found in almost every developed country. Zara today operates 2,264 stores in 96 countries, strategically located in major cities. It is no wonder that Zara, which began as a modest store in Spain, has grown to become the world's largest fast fashion retailer and Inditex's main brand. According to Forbes magazine, its creator, Amancio Ortega, is the 6th richest man in the world. But what about the logo? How did Zara come up with this design? There are not many fashion brands that have such huge global recognition as the Zara logo does. Even though the logo has changed a few times, it has always stayed simple and strict to keep the brand status as a fashion icon. Zara's first logo was created in 1975. It featured a classy and clean serif typeface, executed in a monochrome palette. The word mark had bold, well-balanced capital letters, and its font was very similar to that of the TTZAR's bold and Calmia's semi-bold, with a slight change to the curve of the letter R. Having existed for around 30 years now, the company decided to give its logo a new visualization in 2008. This was done so that the logo could be used on printed materials, digital media, product labels, and internal tags without any problems. The redesign of 2008 slightly changed the logo type, retaining its previous style and flavor. This time, the letters were placed far from each other, featuring wide and shortened letter shapes. The new square design gives the logo a more confident and serious look, pointing toward the brand's proficiency, supremacy, and timelessness. In 2019, Zara changed its logo again, keeping the black and white color scheme and making the bold letters stand out. The existing wordmark is in a custom font with tall, tapered letters that are intertwined at the bottom and a curled, long or leg. The font is stretched out, and the characters are superimposed on each other. However, the new Zara logo encountered a setback after it was launched. The new logo's font is similar to that of Zara's artistic director and founder of Baron & Baron, Fabian Baron. Baron is also the creative director of several high-end labels, such as Dior, Burberry, and Maison Margiela. This could mean that Zara wants to rebrand in order to get back on par with other high-end fashion houses. Zara, as a band formed in the mid-1970s, appears to guarantee its place among the world's older, more successful companies, rather than among the new generation of regular retail firms. Fellow designers, particularly typographers, have criticized the revised Zara logo design, calling it claustrophobic. Eric Spiekermann, a German typographer who recently collaborated with Adobe to convert unfinished Bauhaus designs into fonts, called it the worst piece of type he's seen in years on Twitter. He wondered if it was the work of one of those new robots that will replace humans. Fabio Basile of the British design studio Fortnite also mocked the design with a meme that predicts the Zara logo in the next 8 years if the brand continues on its current rebranding path. The revised font type has no space between the letters, with each one directly intertwined with the other, making the logo illegible and confusing. There could be many reasons behind the ideology of the new squashed logo design, but the fact is, the audience loves it, and that's what matters the most. The major elements of the Zara logo design include the following. Zara's logo type is an excellent illustration of a minimal yet effective brand identity. The current wordmark incorporates a bespoke typeface with tall, constricted letters interwoven on their bottom sections, and the leg of the letter are e-coiled and lengthened. The logo's dark hue represents the style, elegance, and excellence of Zara's high-end merchandise. The brand is so well known that, despite being one of the world's leading fashion houses, Zara does not publicize, relying instead on discount campaigns and its very distinctive corporate identity. At the same time, the Zara logo has been criticized for being very simple, boring, and generic. The Zara logo resembles the accessibility of luxury fashion products. So, it only has the brand's name on it. It's simple, small, and easy for anyone who likes trendy clothes to understand. The current Zara logo design deviates from contemporary design trends to put up a classic and timeless look, much like many other high-end fashion brands. Its bold, all-caps logo may say something about how the company wants to become one of the world's best luxury fashion houses. The classic black and white color scheme is a nice change from the days when logos were complicated and full of colors. The IT also signifies the availability of fashionable things for everyone. There are 2 more logos based on the primary one for the men's collection, and the other for the home. The first version of the logo is black and white and uses the same spelling as the main one. Only the word man is positioned in the lower right corner and has a different font, bold, sans serif, and a capital M. The latter, home logo, is used for home accessories and is made of 2 parts arranged in tiers, one at the top of Zara and the other one below the word home. Since both words have the same number of characters, they are placed exactly one on top of the other. All the letters share the same width, height, and font. There are no serifs, as the emphasis is on practicality rather than style. Meanwhile, away from the Zara logo, let's find out what the company's brand strategy is. Zara was placed 29th on the list of the best global brands by GlobalBrand consultant Interbrand in 2021. Its primary values can be summarized in 4 words: beauty, clarity, functionality, and sustainability. Zara's success has been helped by the fact that it can keep up with quickly changing fashion trends and quickly add them to its collections. Zara identified a large market gap that few fashion manufacturers had properly addressed from the start. This was done to stay current with fashion trends while also offering clothing collections that are both high quality and inexpensive. The brand keeps a careful eye on how fashion changes and evolves around the world on a daily basis. It generates fresh designs based on the newest styles and trends and puts them in stores within a week or 2. In comparison, most other fashion firms would take close to 6 months to launch new designs and collections. Zara was able to do better than its fashion competitors because it was able to quickly create new collections based on current trends. It quickly became a popular brand, especially among people who like to keep up with the latest fashion trends. The company's founder, Amancio Ortega, is well known for his view that clothing is a perishable good. He thinks that people should use and wear clothes for a short time and then throw them away, like yogurt, bread, or fish, instead of putting them in cupboards. According to the media, the Zara fashion brand offers freshly baked clothing that lasts no more than a month or 2. Zara focuses on 3 areas in order to efficiently bake its new fashions. Number 1, shorter lead times and more fashionable clothes. With shorter lead times, Zara can make sure that its stores have the clothes that customers want right now. This could be a specific spring, summer, or autumn/winter collection, a new trend that is catching on, an item that became popular after a celebrity, socialite, actor, or actress wore it, or the latest collection from a top designer, among other things. While many businesses try to predict what customers will buy months in advance, Zara follows its customers and offers them what they want to buy at any given time. Number 2, lower quantities through scarcity. By lowering the quantity created for a specific style, Zara not only decreases its exposure to any single product, but also generates a false sense of scarcity. The theory that applies to all fashion goods, and especially luxury, is that the less available an object is, the more desirable it becomes. Another advantage of creating in smaller quantities is that if a style fails to gain momentum and suffers from poor sales, there isn't a large amount to be disposed of. The Zara fashion brand only has 2 time-limited sales each year, rather than regular markdowns, and it lowers a very tiny amount of its products, roughly half when compared to its competitors, which is an outstanding effort. Number 3, more styles. Zara creates more styles, around 12,000 every year, than higher quantities per style. Even if a style sells out rapidly, there are fresh styles ready to fill the void. This means more options for the consumer and a better chance of getting it right. Zara only allows its designs to be displayed in stores for 3 to 4 weeks. This strategy encourages customers to return to the brand stores because if they were only a week late, all of the garments in a specific style or trend would be gone and replaced by a new trend. At the same time, the regular updating of the lines and styles sold by its stores encourages clients to return more frequently. So, what, then, are the keys to Zara's success story? Here are some things about Zara's supply chain that explain why it has been so successful. There are 9 of them, and they include: Number 1, the frequency of customers' insights collection. Every day, customer feedback is put into a database at the head office, where designers use it to come up with new lines and make changes to old ones. Number 2, the standardization of product information. Zara warehouses have standardized product information with standardized definitions. This makes it possible to make designs quickly and accurately with clear instructions on how to make them. Number 3, product information and inventory management. Zara can design a garment even if it doesn't have all of the needed raw materials in stock. This is because they have a good handle on their thousands of fabrics, trims, design criteria, and physical inventory. Number 4, procurement strategy. About 2/3 of fabrics are bought without color before the design is finished so that money can be saved by combining demand. Number 5, manufacturing strategy. Zara has a make and buy a strategy, in which it manufactures more fashionable and risky things in Spain while outsourcing the manufacturing of more standard designs, with more stable demand to Morocco, Turkey, and Asia to decrease production costs. The more stylish and risky things, which account for around half of the company's merchandise, are produced in a dozen company-owned facilities in Spain, Galicia, northern Portugal, and Turkey. Simple t-shirts and other clothing with a longer shelf life and more predictable demand are sent to low-cost manufacturers, mostly in Asia. Even though some of Zara's clothes are made in Europe, the company keeps costs low by hiring assembly workshops in other countries and using the informal economy of moms and grandmothers. Number 6, distribution management. Zara's cutting-edge distribution operation operates with little human interaction. Optical reading machines sort and distribute over 60,000 articles of apparel per hour. Zara can also change existing items in as little as 2 weeks, in addition to these supply chain efficiencies. Product lifecycle reduction indicates greater success in satisfying consumer desires. If a design does not sell well within a week, it is removed from stores, any future orders are cancelled, and a new design is developed. Zara actively analyzes changes in client fashion choices. It features a variety of basic patterns that are carried over from year to year, but some in vogue, high fashion, trend-inspired goods can be on the shelves for less than 4 weeks, encouraging Zara lovers to return. A typical high street retailer in Spain expects customers to visit 3 times each year, but Zara expects customers to visit 17 times per year. This anticipation for such a high frequency of return visits demonstrates Zara's confidence in staying on top of evolving consumer demands and preferences, as well as assisting them in shaping their ideas, opinions, and fashion taste. In fact, Zara's stores help start new fashion trends and make some seasonal styles last longer by selling more affordable lines. Number 7, Zara's operations are centered on sustainability. Sustainability has been a hot topic in business for the last 10 years, and it is quickly becoming a must-have for companies that want to connect with and keep their customers around the world. Inditex defines this as a dedication to people and the environment. Number 8, commitment to people. Inditex makes sure that all of its employees share the same vision of value based on sustainability through professional development, equality and diversity, and volunteering. It also makes sure that its suppliers have basic rights at work by giving them programs for continuous improvement. Inditex also puts more than $50 million a year into programs and projects that help people and the community. For example, its For and From a program, which started in 2002, has helped people with physical and mental disabilities join society by giving them more than 200 steady jobs in 15 places. Number 9, commitment to the environment. As a company that uses natural resources to generate its products, Inditex works hard to guarantee that its environmental effect is in line with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, United Nations Sustainable Developmental Goals. Inditex has stated that by 2025, it will only sell sustainable clothing and that all cotton, linen, and polyester sold will be organic, sustainable, or recycled. The company also runs a program called Join Life, which helps shoppers find clothes made from materials that are better for the environment, like organic cotton and recycled polyester. Inditex also does a lot to protect biodiversity, use less water, energy, and other resources, keep waste from piling up, and fight climate change. It has, for example, made a global water management strategy that is especially focused on preventing the release of dangerous chemicals. It has also expanded its waste reduction program, which allows consumers to drop off worn apparel, footwear, and accessories at collection sites in 2,299 stores in 46 markets. Another vital part of Zara's success is its culture. Zara does not recognize the term impossible. It has a very entrepreneurial culture and hires a lot of young people who swiftly rise through the levels of the company. Zara promotes around 2/3 of its store managers from the inside and has a low turnover rate. The brand doesn't mind giving young people responsibility, and the culture encourages taking risks, as long as you learn from them, and moving quickly, which is the mantra of fashion. Top management gives store managers full freedom and control over how their store runs and how well it does. Cost, profit, and growth goals are clearly set, and there is both a fixed and a variable reward structure. Up to half of the total pay comes from the variable component, which makes store-level employees very motivated. Also, when an employee gets a promotion, his or her shop works with the Human Resources Department to create a full training program for that person. Periodic extra training shows how committed Zara is to developing its employees' skills. In addition, the organizational structure is flat, with only a few managerial layers. Customers are Zara's most essential source of knowledge, but the Zara brand also hires trend analysts and customer insights experts and keeps some of the greatest fashion. Zara's creative team consists of around 200 professionals. All of them show that Zara's company philosophy is that there is no such thing as impossible. For example, many companies have trouble making decisions and having discussions that take a long time. Zara gets around this problem by bringing together different business functions at the headquarters and by creating structures and processes that encourage people to talk to each other all the time. The designers and merchandisers often meet with the sales and marketing teams to talk about trends. It is important to have constant two-way communication so that sales and marketing teams can talk to customers about new lines and designers, and merchandisers can see how customers' needs and preferences are met at the store level. So that approvals don't take too much time, the production schedule is also carefully planned. The Zara design team has a relatively flat structure and concentrates on the meticulous interpretation of catwalk trends that are appropriate for the mass market, the Zara customer. Spain's design and product development teams work together every month to come up with 1,000 new styles. Aside from being customer-centric, Another major reason for Zara's employee strategy's success is that it allows its employees to make data-driven decisions. Zara does not have a chief designer. When it comes to approving items and campaigns, which are based on daily data feeds that show which styles are popular, all of its designers have a lot of creative freedom. Zara's items are offered in accordance with consumer trends. Its agile supply network delivers new products to retailers twice a week. It takes 10 to 15 days for things to reach retailers after they are designed. Some of Zara's major business holdings includes the following. Zara manages up to 20 clothing designs every year as of 2017. Zara is a 100% owned company of the €4 billion Inditex Group and is headquartered in Barcelona. Zara's 600 stores produce more than 80% of the group's sales. Over 724 stores in 56 countries sell women's, men's, and children's clothing. As of 2017, Zara manages up to 20 clothing collections per year. Zara currently operates 1,751 stores around the world. They generate almost $9 billion in income each year, 2009. Its parent company, Inditex, is 60% owned by the Ortega family, and Inditex generated $6.741 billion in revenue in 2005. Zara has around 2,000 branches worldwide. Zara is an apparel distributor. On the surface, none of it makes sense. To begin with, the company does not market and still makes the majority of its items in Europe. But when you look at Ortega's core business, you can realize what a true retail visionary he is. Zara's business approach was designed from the start with flexibility and speed in mind. The link between the stores, in-house designers, and manufacturing is critical to the company's success. This has always been an important aspect, along with the company's excellent logistical management. It is because of these essential qualities that he is able to analyze trends and bring them from the catwalk to the high street in a matter of weeks. It took 5 to 6 months before Zara arrived. And once we got a taste of what is now known as a quick fashion, we couldn't get enough of it. The distribution center in Spain handles all of the clothing. New products are examined, sorted, labeled, and placed into trucks. The garment is usually delivered within 48 hours. Zara manufactures around 450 million products each year. Since the fast fashion became a thing, Zara has done more to get people interested in fashion, which is a good thing. In basic terms, Zara has made the top level of fashion something that people from different markets would want or aspire to buy by creating designs that represent the top-level fashion trends that are currently shattering the market. This instills a desire among purchasers with limited purchasing power to possess larger brands. Zara not only sells great clothes but also keeps its customers happy and wanting more by making all of them happy in different ways. Its TRF collection is a good example of how it does this. In conclusion, for brands like Zara that are not merely profit-centric, the prospect of growth is a piece of cake, as their vision revolves around collaborative growth based on smart decisions instead of drastic ones. Keeping true to its unique selling proposition, Zara has always kept its customers waiting for new collections that inspire other fast fashion brands and make it stand out in the race to keep pace with the ever-changing fashion trends around the globe.